Hi, everyone. Sorry for the delay. We're having some Zoom room issues. We'll get started in just a second. All right, so welcome. For those of you who don't recognize me or are new to the Aspen community, my name is Cal Marquez. I work at Bywater Solutions. I'm a member of the Aspen Discovery implementation team. So we get libraries ready to go on Aspen Discovery and then support them in the future. I'm also joined today by another member of our team, Elise, if you want to say hello.
Hello, welcome everybody.
So Lisa actually works with our marketing at Bywater. So she's a really great person to have for today's topic, which is digital marketing with Aspen Discovery. So a little bit about me, my background is in public libraries, and I worked in public libraries for about 8 years. And several of those years I worked in outreach, and I understand firsthand how many times you would tell someone or go out into the community and say, do you know we have this? And their minds would just explode in front of you, and they have no idea everything that the library offers. So that is something that is very near and dear to our heart here. And when we're meeting with libraries and working with them on Aspen, we're always looking for ways to really feature all those wonderful things that libraries have to offer. So we're really going to focus on that today. So I have a couple slides to share, but mostly I want to show you examples of how libraries are using Aspen. So my job is really easy because all of the libraries we work with are so creative and so wonderful, and they give me endless examples to show you all today. So let me just go ahead and share my screen, and please feel free to put questions in the chat. Elise is going to help share the links for what I'm demoing for you today, so she'll drop those in the chat too if you want to follow along. All right, so let me share my screen. And I'll share my little presentation here. All right. Okay, so the first thing with Aspen, if you're new around here, or if you've been around here for a few years with Aspen, we always talk about our goals. Everything comes back to these 4 goals. So just recently, actually for the new year, we kind of reimagined what our goals look like. So this is probably the first time in one of these webinars we've kind of discussed our new or our expanded goals. But essentially, when we're looking at not just marketing our collections and things, but everything we do with Aspen, we're always going to point back to these 4 goals. So we really want to make a unified integration with all of our library technologies. So this goes back to marketing because we want to make sure all of our users know about all the things that we subscribe to and pay for, and things like e-content and your databases. So we have integrations with things like EBSCOhost, for example. We want to make sure that we're maximizing our engagement with the library. So Aspen makes recommendations for other things that users should check out or interact with. There's also a number of ways, and we'll see a lot of this today, where you can put in like links, or you can promote other areas of your catalog. So as they're searching through Aspen, they're being led into other directions and kind of exploring all the things that you offer. And then, of course, we want to think about all the variety of users that we support. Our communities, we have so much different variety, not only in our own communities, but across libraries. So with that, we want to make sure that Aspen reflects the needs of your population. So we have everything from prison libraries to academic libraries to K through 12 libraries, of course, public libraries. So we want to make sure it's reflective of the style of library, but also your individual community. And then we never forget about y'all, the people that we work with every day. So we want to make sure that you feel super comfortable and clear on how to go in and do all of these customizations and get into Aspen and market all of your wonderful things that you offer. Okay, so when we think about library marketing, these are kind of the things that go through my mind. So how do we get the word out about all the libraries have to offer? How do we engage with not only the current audiences, so the people that are coming in that we see every day, but also how are we attracting new users and new audiences, those new people in our community, or maybe those people that haven't been in a library in 20 years and they don't know that we have, ebooks and STEM kits and laptops and hotspots. And then probably most importantly, and how I think that Aspen plays into this, is how do we optimize the tools we already are using or already pay for? So I would say probably a majority of libraries have catalogs, library catalogs. So instead of, maybe having to pay for every enrichment marketing type software that is offered and available for libraries, why don't you already meet your users where they are? So within maybe your catalog space, and connect with them in that way. So instead of having to pay for additional thing, why not just optimize your main maybe access point to your patrons, which is your library catalog? So some of the ways that we're going to look at this today, and these are not even close to all the ways that you can use Aspen to market your library. But some of the things we're going to look at today are your branding, because of course your logo and being identifiable in your community is really important. Browse categories, placards, which are kind of like digital marketing billboards. I like to think of that as custom pages. So we have a web builder integration in Aspen that's available for you as a part of Aspen. And then also, I want to look at events, because when we talk about how, libraries are so much more than books, so many times working in libraries, people had no idea we even offered library programs. And we had such fantastic, really, really wonderful library programs. So really promoting those events. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to show you some of these examples. Let me get out of this view, maybe not. Too many things open. Right. Okay. So the first thing I want to look at today when we talked about the branding. So this is actually Avalon Free Public Library in New Jersey. And this is their library website right now. So I just wanted to compare side by side, looking at their colors and their theme. And they even have this like wave pattern in the back of their website. So when we worked with them on their library catalog, they really wanted to keep that feeling consistent. Their brand, they've already developed this and enriched this. So I just wanted to show you their library catalog and how seamless that experience is between the two. So when you go to this catalog, it's not just, a basic ILS interface. It really feels like the library. And I think that's like so important. And when we're looking at all these Aspen catalogs, that's going to be a theme, no pun intended, that carries through all of these, is that they all look so different. So while we're going to set you up in implementation with a really nice catalog out of the box, there really isn't an out of the box Aspen, because there's so many different features that we see libraries like enabling, turning on and off, and then, kind of running with. So some libraries really, really love to really invest time on, their theme and their branding. And with Aspen, when we're setting this up, you can easily put in your own hex colors, your own font. There's a number of different areas to put in your logo and your branding. We see folks using the header, the footer, and in different, areas throughout. Of course, you can also put in all of your social media icons. So these will take users out to all of your various platforms. So if you want to promote that new TikTok page that you just started, or if you're still adding a lot of great content to, YouTube and you're recording your programs, or Pinterest, all of that is available for them as well. So we really want to make sure that we understand that your brand is really important as a library. We want to make sure that you're able to carry that through. All right. Another thing that we see in libraries that libraries love are browse categories. So I wanted to show you the Huntsville Madison Library. They recently went live on Aspen, and how I think about browse categories is just like those in library displays that, libraries spend so much time like cultivating and creating. These browse categories are the same experience. So that feeling that you get when you're walking down the aisle at a bookstore or in the library, we want to make that same experience online. So I just loved, I mean, I see so many amazing browse categories, so I cannot choose a favorite, but Huntsville just recently went live and they have some really interesting browse categories that I wanted to show off today. So they have their own local music collection that they're promoting, which I think, again, just speaking to your individual communities, that's so, so cool. So these are local people that, you know, are going to their library and seeing their music that they, you know, they've recorded and published. I just think that's, you know, so special. And then other people in the community are able to discover it. There's also, of course, people use browse categories a lot to celebrate different holidays. So it's NaNoWriMo right now. So they have a browse category for that. Dinovember, I mean, who knew that was a thing? That's super cool. So there's celebration of it's November, celebrating dinosaurs. I don't know, I love it. And then of course, there's other things like promoting their digital collections. I love this one. So Hot on Libby, no holds on Hoopla. So they've found items with, you know, long waits, maybe on Libby or Overdrive, and they've found the same titles on Hoopla without a wait, and they're promoting them. So I just think that's a really wonderful way to do that. Another thing they've done is their local authors collection. I know at the library system I used to work at, we used to have a local author event every year and we'd have local authors table. This would have been a great way to promote that. So just again, like with the local music, really reflective of your local community and your community of authors. So with that, there's another example, the main library, show you this one now. They had a festival of their local authors, so or authors they had. So the Morristown Festival of Books, they used a browse category to promote those authors that were attending this festival. So how they accomplished this is they created, it looks like they used a design software, maybe something free like Canva or another design software, where they got the images of the authors' faces and maybe a popular book that, you know, they wrote, and they created these little images of the authors. When you click on any of these authors' faces and their books, it takes you out to a list that author wrote. So I think that is just awesome. So not only are your users getting excited about this, you know, this town festival that you have, but they can also go to the library and discover the books that this, you know, author has written. So they also broke this up, which I think is really nice, into categories. So they have adult fiction, they even have a kid fest, I guess, and they have their YA authors and their children's authors. So this is actually like an integration of, you know, using images within Aspen, creating book lists within Aspen. They've turned that into a browse category. And then they're promoting an event. So like, wow, they're using all kinds of things here. I think it's just a great example, again, of connecting with your local community. And it looks really great too. And now that they did this, they can promote this, you know, throughout the year or get users ready for next year if it's an annual event. Okay. Let's talk about some other areas of Aspen. So I mentioned placards. Let me show you the East Central Regional Library. Again, we'll see they have the cutest little fox in their logo. And I love how they incorporated their fox into their header. And again, you get that feeling, that good feeling when you're on their catalog. And you really identify with understanding that this is your library. This is, you know, I'm familiar with the little fox and now I get to see him reading a book. I think that's just so great. But what East Central Regional Library has done is they have made a ton of placards. So what are placards? Placards I like to think about are like little digital banners or digital billboards where libraries can assign trigger words for them to display in the catalog. So what that means is I've created a banner, a placard, and I want it to show up when users search for a specific keyword. So let's see some of the ones that ECRL has done. So for example, I'm just in the catalog and I'm going hiking maybe in a couple weeks, and I'm looking for like a hiking guide or just a hiking book. And I'm just coming into the library and I'm just searching hiking. Oops, and spelling it correctly. when I click search, the first thing I see at the top of my search is a placard. So the library has designed this. Again, it looks like they used maybe like a Canva or some type of like design software to create this little banner image with some text and some imagery. And because I searched hiking, this placard is showing up that I can actually reserve a 7-day Minnesota State Park Pass. Like, how cool is that? I had no idea my library even circulated park passes or that was a thing. On the back end, the library assigns which words this placard will show up for. So it could be Minnesota, trails, state, parks, pass, really, we're really thinking about the user and what the user would be intuitively searching for. So maybe it pops up if I, search outdoors. It can be a number of things. And actually, this library in some cases has assigned hundreds of trigger words to some of their placards. But you can also just assign maybe like one word if it's very specific or a few. It's completely up to you on where you want this to appear. And then, of course, you can hyperlink these to take the user out to get more information about this. So if I click on it, it's going to take me out to all the different maybe state passes that I have access to, which I think is just so great. Let's look at some of the other ones that they have set up. So this is highlighting a special collection that they have, but let's see some of the other ones that they've created. So let's search for board books in the catalog. And in this case, I searched board books and they're advertising a program they have. So they have story time. A lot of libraries, you might have a weekly every Tuesday or every certain day of the week story time. Or maybe multiple times a day. One of the libraries I worked at, we had one like every 30 minutes. We had like new people coming in for story time. So what they've done in this case is they've set the trigger word for a number of different things. So I just searched board books, but to the library, maybe the same person that's searching for board books for like maybe their toddler or small child would also be interested in a story time. But they also have assigned trigger words like, story time. We know that, or how we think about it in Aspen is that when users see a search box, they don't always know what they're searching within. So we're very used to Google and we're all programmed to just search what's on our brain. So that's definitely the idea behind this is that, I don't know, I'm tired, I'm just looking for a board book or I'm just looking for a story. So being able to connect the dots between that keyword search and this, event that the library hosts is just so great for libraries, I think. And then again, you can click on this. Maybe it takes me out to a sign up or all of my events page. It can take you wherever you need it to go. And then we don't just offer, recreational type events, of course. If I'm, in a pinch and I'm searching for job help or, I have a SAT test coming up or, some type of job preparedness, and your library is subscribing to, test databases and language databases or those career resource databases. And folks might not even know those exist. So many times people were coming in looking for like an ACT book or an SAT book, and we didn't have them or they were never returned, but we had a phenomenal online database that we probably paid thousands of dollars for, and that people were thrilled when they knew that they could get access to digital flashcards or that they could take, tests. So let's just see, like if I were to search resume, for example, in this catalog, I can see that there is something called Brain Fuse Job Now that I had no idea about as a patron. And I can get free one-on-one interview help, career coaching, resume writing help, and I can even talk to experts and look at online job resources. Like this is so fantastic. And you can click on it and it'll take you out to those resources. So us working in libraries all the time, we sometimes maybe forget how fantastic everything that we have, that we offer for free is. So I think the more people that we can expose all these fun, like completely fantastic things that we have, I think that's just so important. So maybe they just thought they were going to find, a resume book today, but instead they got connected with a career coach. Like that's just amazing. So good job, all of you. And then one I don't have an example of because it expired. So these can expire if you choose them, if you want them to. The Euless Library in Texas. Their Friends of the Library had a murder mystery event a couple weeks ago, and it was a fundraiser, and they were selling tickets to it. So they made a little banner placard for that event, and the keywords that they chose were things like murder, mystery, thriller, like suspense. So the users that were coming in and they love that like true crime type book, we're getting exposed to that placard and getting to see that event. So I just thought that was like so fun to really connect between the user and the library event that was going on. All right, let's see. Okay, so that's placards. A ton of different ways that you can use them. You can have as many as you want, and they're all completely customizable to the library and to the services that you offer. Okay, so I only have a few minutes. There's so much to cover, so let's keep moving. I want to show you some of our web builder tools. So a couple weeks ago, we welcomed the El Paso Digital Library onto Aspen, and they're a really unique case because this is almost completely a full digital library online. So they really wanted to create just a catalog for their online resources. So how they've accomplished this is a lot of what you see here is through the web builder functionality in Aspen. So you can build like very basic pages, or you can build something like this, which is a custom page. So I just thought it was like a really beautiful representation of their different platforms that they subscribe to. And you could change these out. You could, feature different ones, maybe like quarterly or monthly. But it's just as simple as uploading a logo to a page and then linking the logo out to that URL. They're also, it looks like, promoting a couple e-resources. So they have their Mango languages promoted here. And then they also have Help Now, which is another one of those brain fuse databases, like a tutor.com, something like that. They also are using another one of the web builder functionalities. So the web builder is kind of a suite of features. So there's basic pages, there's custom pages. You can build out simple forms. You can build like a staff directory, and then we have something called web resources, but it doesn't have to be just web resources. It can be like community resources as well. But what this looks like, if you click on this, is a number. It's basically like a menu of all of your e-content or any resources really that you want to feature. So some libraries will even put like government websites or those type of like 211 type community resources. But it gives you a chance, another place in your catalog to really visually promote all of your offerings. So they've chosen to feature these at the top, but they also have a number of different categories. So they have arts and music and languages and culture. So here's some local history. Maybe they have some partnerships with these different areas, but you can really include, I even think about those trusted websites that we would give out to users, like fantastic fiction for, readers advisory or help with the number of a book in a series, or I believe it's like Goodwill Learn Free. I don't know. I think they've changed the name a little bit over the years, but for those like basic kind of commuter classes. So even if it's not a true library website or something that the library pays for, but as a good resource for your community, you could definitely include that within these web resources or resources. Okay, and then another library that I wanted to feature that is also using the web builder. We have a ton of libraries using web builder, but I can only show off so many in a day. But I just really liked the Essex Free Library in Vermont. They were having, I just liked that they prominently were showing like they had the free COVID tests available. You might not think of your library as a place, of course, to go get a free COVID test. But I just thought that was a very like timely way that they're using their web builder pages. So, libraries become a catch-all of a number of different services in our community, and having a place where you can just clearly promote that on your library, Aspen catalog is just really, really great, I think, for your patrons. Okay, so that's a little bit of the web builder. You can really see, you can completely customize, and everything that we've looked at today so far has just been so vastly different. They all have a different look and feel. The last thing I wanted to talk about today are events, because we talked about, there's so many more things in libraries than just your, physical collections or your e-content collections. We offer such amazing community programs. So I wanted to talk about, this is the Boynton Beach City Library in Florida. We have direct integration in Aspen with both LibCal's calendar and also Library Market's calendar. So what this looks like once it's set up is you get access not only to a calendar right within your catalog. So this is just an auto-generated calendar, but within Aspen, you also get an events interface. So users can search for events. They have a number of different like facets and filters, so they can narrow down, by the age group or the type of event or the program type. But the really, really great thing is that if I don't even know the library has events and I'm just performing a search within the catalog. So let's say I'm looking for the book, The Vanishing Half, because I heard that it's, a good book to read, and I'm just searching within the catalog and I'm scrolling through the catalog. I'm also being shown the fact that there is a Book Buzz adult book club upcoming. And if I were to click on it, it's going to say that that's the book that the book club's actually reading. So Aspen has made a connection between the description in the event, because it included The Vanishing Half, and it's showing the users that there's an upcoming book club. So this will work for any of the events that you have integrated. So if you offer yoga or a craft program, or I don't know, cooking, a cookbook type book club, or whatever it is, when users are performing keyword searches, when they're just thinking maybe they're looking for a book, they're also going to get exposed to those different program offerings that your library has. Okay, I said a lot in a very short period of time. I could literally do this all day, because we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of library catalogs that are using all these tools, and they're so beautiful. But I just wanted to leave just a couple minutes if anyone had any questions about anything that they saw today, or anything else about kind of marketing these different areas of your collections. Was that event listing from LibCal? Yes, the integrations look very similar, but I'm almost positive that one was LibCal, yes. But Library Market and LibCal in Aspen, they're very hard to tell the difference. They look very similar. So, but I think that one was LibCal, yes. All right, so if anyone wasn't here today and wanted to attend and you want to share out this link, we'll have the link up by the end of the week for this. We'll also include in the blog any of the links that I demoed today, so that you can go, browse those catalogs and get some inspiration. This is a monthly series that we do for both our Koha ILS and also Aspen Discovery. So next month, Jordan will be presenting on customizing Aspen Discovery on December 14th, 3 p.m. Eastern. So, feel free to sign up for that and join us next month. And always, you're welcome to contact us. We're always available. My name is Cal. You can email me at cal@bywatersolutions.com. We have our Calendly link, so cal_@Aspen, if you want to just book time and we can Zoom and I can walk you through some of this stuff. And then Bill's not here because he is helping one of our other libraries right now, and he loves to give demos and he's fantastic. But Bill would love to talk to you too. So he's bill@bywatersolutions.com, or you can find his calendar at bill_Aspen Discovery. But that's it for us. And as always, we love chatting with you and sharing all the amazing things that our libraries do. So thanks for attending, and we'll hopefully see you soon. Bye.
Hi, thank you.